Switch the view.
What's up, friends? Welcome to the Sunday Summary. I'm your host, Kyle. With me, as always, is Steve. And are you sure you want me to change the view?
Unless the people want to look at this magnificent plant behind me the whole time.
Yeah, no,
And
guys,
pumpkins.
You got to let us know. Do you like this view, or do you like being all up in our grills? Like, you got to let us know. I like this one too.
I feel less exposed.
Why are you afraid to be vulnerable with the people, Steve?
Oh, I'm certainly not afraid to be vulnerable. I mean, vulnerable is my middle name. Let me back out of this and change my name to Stephen Vulnerable.
Oh, go for it.
I just said exposed. There's a difference between being vulnerable, which is like a lot deeper of a word than exposed.
Well.
Anyways,
good morning to Dermot, Suraz, Tony, Liz, legends in this chat right now. Hi Bro is in here. Mo Salama, Nick Red, legends. Good morning to everyone. Sir Oswald likes it. He likes the view here. I mean, honestly, either one could do.
Well, I wasn't prepared for that, so I would have had to adjust my angles. Also, how do I sound right now, Kyle? Or people, let me know how I sound. We're doing some new audio stuff over here. I just need to know, is this the right volume? Is it clear?
Dude, your audio is great.
Okay, just making sure.
All right, look. Steve, yesterday, talk to me about this game, okay? And guys, throughout the show, I want to hear your thoughts about the match yesterday. Go, Steve. Just real quick, under 1 minute, real quick thoughts about the game.
Under 1 minute. It's hard to do.
Tony Lynch, Oyvind, Dustin, what's good?
Hey, guys. Thanks, Tony. I sound great. So
you look great, too.
I was going to say, if only I could look great, we'd have everything covered. So here's the scenario. I was actually at a 1-year-old birthday party yesterday, but I was, as you guys I'm sure would imagine, I was that guy who was in the living room for the party, virtually alone, watching the match. That's me. I'm that sicko. So I watched the first 35 minutes. Then I watched second half through maybe 60. And then I missed 60 to 80. And then I watched 80 to 85 until the end. So I caught probably about 60 to 75% of it.
Okay.
That's what I expected, honestly. I
definitely want to hear your
thoughts about the Arteta and Jurgen scramble, because I saw that, but I don't really know what happened, and I didn't have time to stick around and look at all the extra stuff about it. But I mean, that's what I expected. I feel like we have Arsenal's number. I feel like they got some good results against teams they should be getting results against. So I think that's that's something that's gone in their favor. But I don't think by any stretch they're ready for this challenge. And Van Dijk said it himself. He said, they won matches they were supposed to win, but we're at home, Anfield. We're a different animal.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And everyone was calling for serving up the usual at Anfield, is what they would call it. Typical 4-0, 5-1. That we've definitely had Arsenal's number. To answer your question about the Arteta thing, bro. So first off, what is it about managers that gets under their skin, and then all of a sudden they feel that they can yell at Jurgen Klopp, perhaps one of the greatest managers of the last decade ever?
Tell me what happened.
Oh, so you missed it?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay.
I saw them yelling at each other.
All right, so essentially what happened, Mane made a challenge on, I think maybe it was Tamayesu or Partey, something. Mane made a challenge on
that I just had never seen before. I was like,
who?
I haven't really seen Arsenal play this season. I feel like I've seen every team play. I don't know if I've watched Arsenal yet.
Well, you're not missing much. Just saying.
I was like, who are these guys?
So anyways, Mane makes a tackle, falls over him, and Arteta gets pissed because I don't think a foul was called. Or maybe a foul was called, but it was an aggressive play and it wasn't a card. I don't know. Arteta gets mad, is yelling at Klopp. He's like, you should yada yada. And Klopp was caught off guard by it. So if you watch Klopp on the camera, Klopp just is oh, and then he hears Arteta yelling, and Klopp's face goes from typical Klopp to what is this peasant doing yelling at me? and then just starts like roasting him. And then you look at him, just a shouting match. And I don't know why Arteta was doing that, but they ended up both getting yellow cards. And so after that, completely different game, completely different match. We had Arsenal's number from that point on, dude. I think we scored like 2 minutes later. Like, legitimately think we scored 2 minutes later. It was
Did they
just
shake
amazing.
at the end of the game?
Say that again?
Did they shake at the end of the game?
That I don't know.
Someone in here will know that because I had to turn
Did
the
they
TV
shake
off.
at the end of the game? Or someone let us know if they shook at the end of the game. But anyways, let's talk about how it doesn't matter who it is. If I say that one of these players is having a bad game, okay? Mane was horrific at the beginning of the game yesterday. I don't care who you are. Mane was horrible. He was giving the ball away, making horrible passes, and then he just world-class header and finishes, okay? And if it wasn't for Aaron Ramsdale, Mane may have had 2 goals yesterday. I'm just going to talk smack about every single person every game until they score, bro. Mane scored, Jota wasn't getting involved, and then all of a sudden Jota has a world-class solo goal, okay?
That was beautiful.
It was just amazing.
Those. We don't see enough of those
Yeah.
as Liverpool fans, which isn't a bad thing because we have like awesome team goals and like crosses and headers, and Mo Salah is just ripping everything.
Yeah.
But like, I love to see one of those every once in a while. Of course, reminds me of like the hat trick Bobby had against you know who.
That's exactly what it reminded me of. Firmino's run where he just dummied.
That patience, man.
That's all it is.
I'm like, rip it, and then he does like a dummy.
Yeah.
I'm like, rip it, and then he does another one, and I'm like, rip it, and then he does like another one, and I'm like, all right, tap it in.
Oh my God, it was
just
great.
The patience, like the composure in those scenarios. I mean, that's why they're professionals, and I'm not. But I just love to see that. To see that.
Arsenal have only been beaten by 4 goals or more 11 times. 6 of those times have been at Anfield. How crazy is that? That's pretty nuts.
That is crazy.
Excuse me. Here we go. And who are your man of the matches, guys? We got Dustin saying, Mane, man of the match for me. Crazy head from Jota, as well as open play from Salah goals, some quality goals yesterday. Taki's God. So I don't know what happened to Steve, but we're just going to keep rolling anyway. Okay.
I'm here.
Yeah. Sir Oswald said, great to see Ox in such good form. Steve, I thought Ox was excellent yesterday. You know, statistically, he didn't really do anything, right? But every chance he got, he was making tackles. His pressing was perfect. He wasn't losing the ball. All of that stuff. And it's good to see Ox stepping up in that role in a big game. What did you think of Ox from what you saw yesterday?
I felt like that was the Ox of old. Yeah. Not the Ox that's scoring against Man City. Like, that was a treat. But like Ox in like a regular sense, like the general Ox play, I think that's what we got yesterday. That's what we used to get all the time, pre-injury. Just energy. That's when I look at him, that's what I think. I just think energy. He's quick. He's fast. He's not the fastest. He's not the strongest. Like, I don't think he has the highest football IQ. I think he's solid at everything. But what he brings is energy. And he just looked healthy yesterday.
Yeah.
He looked energetic. He looked lively. That's why he's here. The goals are extra, in my opinion. Like, you're here because you are a solid overall player and you bring a ton of energy. And that's what he did yesterday.
It's a great point.
It was against Arsenal. Like, I'm not surprised. You tell me Ox is playing yesterday, I'm like, he's going to play great. It's Arsenal. This is the same man that got signed by Liverpool. And in his first interview, he goes, yeah, well, they just beat Arsenal 4-1. He was on the team. I know you guys remember that.
He played. He started that game.
I know you guys remember that. Yes. I think they mentioned it yesterday. I think he played like right wing back or something in that game.
He was playing out of position.
They lost 4-1. We signed him like the next day.
Mm-hmm.
And then like 3 days later in his like interview, when as a member of Liverpool, he's like, yeah, the club's really trending in the right direction. Like, they beat Arsenal 4-1 the other day. Like, that was you, dude. You were on that team.
Oh my God. Ox is a funny guy, bro. How about Minamino coming on yesterday? First touch scores. You'll love to see it.
One.
Oh,
I
God,
missed
you'd
that
love to
one.
see it. So, Steve, the build-up play for that goal was just absolutely beautiful. So it started from Allison. Allison, long goal kick or long kick, out ball, whatever you want to call it. Flicked on from Jota. I think it was Ox to Jota, and then out to Trent. Trent crosses across the 6-yard box, and Minamino finishes. The ball went from Allison to Minamino in under 6 seconds. It was a beautiful counterattack goal, just built up from the back. Textbook. Minamino coming on and scoring, confidence. That's what that was. That is going to build his confidence, especially going into this time period where we know Salah and Mane are going to be gone for AFCON. It's huge for the guy, man.
I mean,
even if he didn't create it himself.
He definitely knows how to put the ball in the net.
We know that. And then Trent, I think he got his 50th Premier League assist or something.
Somebody's saying this here, yeah. I'm all out of sorts. I typically follow up on everything. I missed a decent chunk of the game yesterday. I'm a little disappointed with myself.
Yeah, no, you're all jacked up.
So I need to know who got the assists.
Trent got the assist. Trent got 2 assists.
Yep.
Trent got 2 assists. And then for Jota's goal,
probably unassisted. That was a quick counter.
It was a quick. He might have been unassisted.
Dribbled too much for that to have an assist.
But
right.
But yes, but then Salah's goal, Mane got the assist. I'm pretty sure. So Mane got a goal and an assist yesterday. It's crazy, bro.
Interesting.
So that's another thing. Is like, despite these players having, like Mane, not necessarily a good start to the game, but he finishes with a goal and an assist. Salah, not a standout game yesterday, still ended up getting a goal, right? These players have not lost that mental toughness. They have not lost it, okay? Because despite the loss to West Ham, despite a rocky, quote-unquote rocky start, I think the start of the season has been fine, but, you can look at it any way you want. The team comes back from an international break and just smokes Arsenal. 4-0 at Anfield. The game.
I think that's what we're supposed to do, but I'm glad.
No,
I'm glad we did.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to be optimistic here, or whatever you typically are.
Optimistic.
Yeah. International breaks, people just hate them, and I know. I think, I don't talk to too many people that are fans of other clubs in the Premier League, admittedly. Mm-hmm. But all Liverpool fans hate them, and I'm sure other, clubs do as well. We're completely riddled by injuries every time. But that's all that people talk about.
But look,
and I'm tired
just going to interrupt
of hearing
you real
those
quick.
Things.
I'm going to interrupt you real quick. Despite the injury list, when you look at that starting lineup yesterday, that is a very strong lineup.
Well, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. But it could have been worse.
The injuries.
Yeah, like Hendo, okay. Robbo, Mane. Who else was borderline that actually ended up coming back?
Fabinho.
Yeah, there you go.
How about, can we talk about Tsimikas yesterday?
Let me know what you think of his performance, guys.
Tsimikas, and first off, if you guys didn't know, Jota had a collision with Aaron Ramsdale yesterday. They were both on the ground getting assessments. They were doing ACL assessments, ankle assessments, a lot of soft tissue assessments on Jota. Jota got back up and he was playing fine. I was on the Liverpool FC app. There is no talk currently of a Jota injury. I think Klopp may have commented on it after the game yesterday, but I need to follow up on that. But as of now that I know of, I haven't seen anything about the Jota injury for any of those asking. So I just wanted to follow up on that. But yeah, Tsimikas, dude. just solid. Like, he wasn't really tested yesterday, I don't think either. I mean, early in the game, you had Saka going down that near side. But other than that, I just think Tsimikas is so solid. So solid. He'll have those games where he's the standout performer. He'll get a couple of assists. But yesterday, there was no threat on that side. There was no threat, period, from Arsenal going forward. They had nothing going forward. We handled them comfortably. But Tsimikas did his job, bro. I'm happy he's there. I'm really happy he's there because we need to start asking the question now, Steve. Like, does Tsimikas deserve to start?
All right.
Just
I feel like
saying.
I've been asked this question a million times.
I'm just saying.
So here's what I've decided. If you're playing a cup final, you're playing Andy Robertson.
Okay, sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's no debate on who's the better player, right? Because you don't get to play 4 matches, 5 matches, and get put in the same category as the best left back in the world. Arguably the best left back in the world the last 3 seasons.
And George, what's up?
So we need to slow our roll on who's better. I know that's not necessarily what you're asking, but it kind of is what you're asking, right?
It's just, I just want to talk about it. I just want to talk. Yeah. That's not what I'm asking.
Just like in general. I'm just throwing that out there in general. That's what people want to have the conversation around. Yes, it's who should start. Should he start over Robbo? But that's also begging the question of, is he better than Andy Robertson? That's what you're asking. The better player should start, right? Injuries aside, rest aside.
Yeah.
That's how it works. So
right now, Robbo is the better player. But we've seen Tsimikas. Okay, sorry, go ahead. I interrupted you.
So here's what I decided. Back to my original point. I think Tsimikas is more consistent offensively. I think his crosses are more consistent.
So
I think.
But let me ask you this. But you just said, though, you were talking about how we can't say he's better than Robertson after 5 games or whatever you said, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how can you say his crosses are more consistent? Because I
think every match he plays, I think every match he plays, maybe crosses is like too specific. But Robertson defensively for me is who I'd rather have back there. He's just a pest. He doesn't stop. His engine. Yes, George, I agree with you on this. But what I've come to realize is I think I enjoy and I'm more comfortable with Tsimikas on offense when we are attacking. He's just smooth. It's almost like he's a midfielder.
No,
he kind of plays like he's not like Robbo is stiff. What's that?
You hit the nail on the head. Like Tsimikas is technically sound. Like Tsimikas can cut in, cut out, push the line. Whereas Robbo, I feel like if Robbo's not running towards the end line, he's passing it backwards or crossing it.
Or he's rigid.
He's rigid. Yeah.
He's like we used to kind of say this about Mo Salah
and Wijnaldum.
Yeah, this is like Mo is like a dribbling king now.
Yeah.
But like in that first year, he was just deadly. And like he would like cross people up, but it was just like lateral. There wasn't like much fluidity to it. You guys like the hand motion here?
You should talk with your hands more.
It's Tsimikas. He reminds me of like a left midfielder.
Mm-hmm.
He's just smooth. He's just like a baller. Like Robbo is a beast. But he's very direct. I just think maybe it's just like the eye test. I think Tsimikas is like really good offensively.
That's the best way to put it. I'm glad you said that. The eye test, there's an argument to be made for Tsimikas, but when it comes to just pure pedigree, Robbo should start, no question. We're not saying that if Robbo's healthy, that Tsimikas should start, but you do need to ask the question, and it's a good question to be asked, guys. I don't want anyone to be upset that we're asking these questions. Like, don't be offended. Like, no, Robbo's the best left back in the world. You can't say Tsimikas. This is a good debate to have. When you're debating whether or not you have 2 guys who can play in the same position and whether the other one should start, that is an excellent problem to have. Okay, and I'm glad we have it at the left back spot. I just wish we had it in other positions, like the midfield. You know.
Well, we had it last year, somewhat up top.
Yeah.
Bobby and Mane were just what's that?
Oh, I thought you meant with like starting Jota versus Bobby.
That's what I'm talking about. But it was also like then Bobby bounced back a little, but Mane was still terrible. So should
Yeah.
Jota start over Mane? And it's like Klopp has loyalty to these guys, and you guys should be able to see that by now. Like,
I was
that's
actually
why Konate barely plays. That's
well,
why
that too.
I was so surprised. On the other hand, when Harvey Elliott started like every match in the beginning of the season, I think we were like, wait, what?
Yeah.
We weren't even sure if he was going to go out on loan. He's playing every match, starting. So that's like, we were so surprised by that, and the fact that like the lineup has looked relatively the same for a few seasons. It is hard to change Klopp's mind, regardless of what we think.
I was actually talking about this over on Anfield Agenda recently. We were having this chat that Klopp is loyal to his players almost to a fault. Like the guys he likes, he wants to play, whereas sometimes he should rotate and he doesn't. But so far, it's worked out for him. But yeah, and just to close up on the Tsimikas conversation, George says Tsimikas is better going forward, probably because he played as wingback for Olympiacos for years, but Robbo's world-class going forward and at defending. It's a good point. I'd say Robbo's a better defender.
Well,
But they're both
wingbacks.
they're both
They both
so
play
good.
like wingbacks. Like
Both
they're
so good.
they're in the
We
opposition's
play
box.
wingbacks. Like
Yeah.
we play wingbacks. We set we
And
don't
also,
set
like,
up in a formation
what's
like
the
that. But
difference? Like, what's the definition
the
on paper?
it's
The way
just
the team's set
positioning.
up.
Trent's
Trent's playing striker here and there. You know what I mean?
Trent.
Like,
God, dude, Trent is so good. I freaking love Trent.
He-
So freaking consistent, bro. Just offensively, he creates more chances. Okay. So he has 12 assists in all competitions this year, I think. I think it's 12 or 13.
That's a lot.
12 in all competitions so far this year. That is 4 or 5 less than Reece James has in his entire career.
Yeah. People somebody
And people are
mentioned the other
saying
day-
Reece James is better than Trent.
So people, dude, I've seen some crazy stuff.
That is the coldest take.
It is. Well, here's the thing. Reece James has scored this year. Like, he has goals.
Yeah.
And that's just like recency bias. People are going to look at that.
Yes.
And like Chelsea are playing great. But we got it. It's not even worth the time to.
I just wanted to bring that up.
Trent versus Reece James. Reece, you have to be the best right back in Europe for 3 years straight to reach the level and be in these conversations.
Yeah.
No, I like Reece James. I have no problem with him. He has some sick goals. He's scoring a lot.
He had a sick goal recently.
Job.
Like he had
he's taking the job.
Yeah, that's a debate for another day. It's good that England, again, they have options at right back between Trippier, Reece James, and Trent. But Trent should start every single game. I'm sorry.
Walker.
All right. So we talked about Jota's goal.
Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Got to cut you off here. The other thing is the way Trent plays here, that's not how England play.
Valid.
So that's the problem. That's the disconnect, because it seems like it should be an easy, straightforward decision, right?
It should.
Well, the reason it's not is because they don't play the same.
Yeah.
And that's
and we watch Trent week in, week out. I don't watch Kieran Trippier week in, week out. I don't watch Reece James week in, week out. You know what I mean? So, but here, George, this is what I was literally about to move on to. So we chatted a little bit about Jota's goal, and we'll get into that as well. But Mane, man, quietly getting 10 goals and assists in 15 games back to his best. This is a good debate to have, or not even debate. We don't need to debate it. We can just chat about it. Statistically, Mane is still there, and that's why Mane's not getting subbed off. Because yesterday, in the first 30 minutes of the game, I think everyone would agree, Mane was the worst player on the field. Okay? As soon as he scores that goal, everything changed. He was linking up better. I mean, it is just the little things. And then he gets an assist later on in the second half. The cop was just sucking up goals yesterday. Like, when we shoot towards the cop in the second half, it's just game over. So
that's
Mane,
every match, isn't it?
No, not always, dude. Sometimes the away team picks. I don't know how it works. I don't think there's a coin flip. That's something, guys. Can you all answer that?
No,
for
there's
me?
something. Yeah, there's something.
How do they determine which direction you kick? Because the smart teams that come to Anfield make sure we kick towards the cop in the first half. Okay. The smart teams do it that way. If you've noticed, we destroy teams in the second half if we're kicking towards the cop. So, anyways, but Mane, bro, quietly getting, I think he has 6 goals in the Premier League and 4 assists, something like that. But we've been critical of Mane the entire season.
I'm looking at it right now.
He's
7 goals,
just,
1 assist.
Say that again?
7 goals, 1 assist.
In the Premier League?
Mm-hmm.
What about in all comps?
2 in the Champions League, and then the rest is he has 3 in club friendlies. I mean,
Don't worry
Champions
about that.
Champions League and Premier League, he's got 9 total.
Okay.
1 assist. And then he's got some for his country.
So he got the 1 assist yesterday. That's his first assist.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how often they update these, but it looks like he's got 7 goals and 1 assist. Someone cross-check that. Guess how many assists Salah has in the Premier League?
7.
Yep, 11 goals, 7 assists.
Yeah, it's just unbelievable.
I think Mane's stats might be off, actually. I think they might not be updated yet.
So Dustin says he doesn't agree. He thought he had a great game, period. Okay, valid. I would encourage you, Dustin, if you have the chance. I mean, it doesn't matter. We won 4-0. You really don't have to do this. This is just me trying to be right because I mean, that's just for some reason I have to do it. If you go back and watch Mane's first 5 touches of the game, he just flat out got dispossessed and passed the ball horrifically. And then once the goal went in, he just started playing better. But anyways,
passed one right out of bounds.
He literally passed one right out of bounds.
He rolled it straight right out of bounds. And I was like, what are you doing?
And not only, dude, he let Tamayasu, or whatever the hell the right back's name is, he just let him take the ball twice. He just said, take the ball from me. But anyways, so talked about Mane's goal, talked about Jota's goal. Let's talk a little bit about Salah's performance yesterday, okay? Obviously, he got the goal. I thought he had some great opportunities to create for other players. He had a few. He likes that outside of the boot pass across the box, doesn't he? He's starting to do that more and more. But I thought he was pretty quiet in the first half, and then in the second half, he woke up a little bit. And then when I went back and I was watching, I think, highlights from last season's Arsenal game, Salah scored for the first time after a 5-game goal drought against Arsenal last season. Even when Salah goes without scoring for 5 games, bro, and he scores again, and the same goes for Mane, just like he did yesterday, it's almost like these guys just snap back into it. The mentality, like I was talking about at the top of the show, the mentality is still there. We might have some setbacks, a draw with Brentford, a loss to West Ham, but these guys are just trained. They're trained to just snap back into it. Arsenal, they were feeling confident. If you go over to the fan panels and you look at the tweets and everything, Arsenal were confident going into that game. They were like, okay, we might have a chance. Sorry, that's not going to happen.
I don't know how you can think that. I don't know how they could think that.
Because they were in 5th, bro. When was the last time Arsenal were in 5th?
Oh, man.
It's like a year and a half, 2 years ago.
I mean, I'm surprised Arteta's still there.
Yeah.
He got the longest leash of any manager ever.
No, Ole. And he's gone.
No.
He's gone. How did we not talked about that yet?
We'll get into that. We'll get into that.
Oh, my
God. I thought Chelsea might draw or lose yesterday. But foolish me, because Leicester is so bad.
What happened? I saw the 3-0 scoreline.
Have you watched them?
No, I didn't watch that game yesterday.
So bad. So just terrible. Unlike any Brendan Rodgers team I've seen recently.
Shayna, what's up?
They're just really, really bad.
So let me ask you this.
Really bad.
Do you at all think that it's Brendan Rodgers' mind is preoccupied with the Man United job, and then it's the team knows it too, so they're playing bad?
No, I don't. Well, because I just heard that's not going to happen. I heard Zidane. I did hear Brendan Rodgers, and I think that would be decent, but
Zidane doesn't speak English, does he?
No, he can.
Can he?
I think he can. I mean, he must.
Well, look, here's the deal. What's his face? The guy who used to coach Arsenal before Arteta. Good evening guy. What's his name?
Oh yeah. Shit.
What the
Crap.
Unai Emery.
Unai. Sevilla.
So good evening.
Sevilla.
Yeah. No, well, he's at Villarreal now, but
he's the Europa League king.
Europa League king,
The weirdest thing
legitimately
ever.
the most successful Europa League manager in the history of time.
Makes
It's
no
unbelievable.
sense.
But anyways, so when he was there was I will stick by this till the day I die. There was a language barrier and a misunderstanding tactically at Arsenal, and that's why they were playing so bad under Unai Emery, because I couldn't understand what he was saying, dude. Like even accents, like you can understand most accents. Most managers, you're like, okay, I mean, I get what he's saying. I couldn't understand it, so I think that was the problem. So I think that's obviously part of the problem why Zidane wouldn't come, but also I don't think Zidane wants the United job. That's not an enticing job right now.
I would want that. It's not. You're right. I guess it doesn't seem like it could be, but just imagine being a manager and getting to walk into that. You have to accept the fact that you're not going to win the league. Like you need to know you're not going to come in and win a trophy. Most of the guys that would get that job are used to winning trophies. Brendan Rodgers, not so much. He has a trophy or trophies, whatever. But
yeah.
But you get to coach, you get to manage Ronaldo, Varane, De Gea. That's good. Sarah Oswald. But think about this. You get to walk in and manage those players. And the club's not broke. Like
no
matter what you might hear, they're not broke. So like you'll get an allowance probably for January. You get to sign something and sell something, and then the summer. I think Zidane's a good fit. I think Brendan Rodgers could happen.
I would love to see.
Could you just imagine if they offered this to Steven Gerrard? Like we can't happen now, but
no, they never would though.
A couple weeks ago.
No, they never would. There's a politics part of it. Like Man United would never offer Steven Gerrard the job. Never in a million years. Okay. But because he played for Liverpool. Okay. But it's different with Everton and oh my God, I am a loser. What is the name? What's his name? Won us a Champions League.
Rafa.
Thank you. Jesus. Sorry, guys. Rafa Benitez. Okay. Who isn't exactly hitting the ground running over there, to be fair. But I think, they're playing right now. Man City and Everton, aren't they?
You might be right.
They're playing right. Oh, it's in the 32nd minute. Okay, so they started at 9. It's still 0-0. I would love to see Rafa. I would love to see Rafa Benitez beat Man City. Anyways, I'm disappointed. I would have loved to see Ole stay at the wheel a little bit longer. I think he was doing great things. You know, I mean, you look at the results he had. 5-0 to Liverpool, 4-1 to Watford. I think he was doing very good things over there. And I would have liked to see him stay. But unfortunately, that's not how the game works. You're supposed to be good for the club you manage. Yeah. You're not supposed to do things well for other clubs. So he's gone. See ya.
Yeah. So what happens now for him?
For who?
Ole. What happens now? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
He didn't manage anyone before Man United, right?
No, he did.
Did he?
Norwegian club Molde, Cardiff City.
There's a club called Mold.
It's Norwegian. I think he might have played for them.
Well, he's Norwegian, I think.
Signed a 4-year contract with them in 2010.
Oh, so he has managed for a while. Okay.
Continued as Manchester United reserves manager until 2011 when he took over.
Wow, see, I didn't know any of that. I thought it was
his first
job.
So he already was a United reserves manager. Manchester United, whatever that is. Then Cardiff City. Then he went back to 2015.
Yo, so Oyvind, please tell us how to pronounce it because I think Oyvind's from Norway. So
help me out, pal.
Yeah,
please.
He said you say Molde wrong, very wrong. It's like, dude, we know.
Mold. Mole, mole, mode.
No. Let's not butcher it. Let's let him tell us. But yeah, the good news is that now Man United are almost guaranteed to not do well for the rest of the season. Like, they might have that initial honeymoon period with whoever their new manager is, but
like they did with him.
Yeah, exactly. They were very good for like 6 months when he first started. But if it's Zidane, dude, what if say Zidane comes in, right? And then he has that ego management style. Like, Ole couldn't manage those egos. Zidane can. And I feel like maybe they could be threatening, but I'm not worried about them for this season. Depending on who they get, I'd be worried about Man United for next season.
Well, my question is, what did Zidane win without Ronaldo?
Pause for 1 second. It's an E there. You say that letter different. So how do you pronounce the E? So would it be Molda or Molde?
Molde.
I'm like legitimately interested. Because I was saying Villarreal until I realized that it was a Villa, you know?
Yeah. Well,
but
we're also not in like elementary.
No, he said like elementary. So maybe that E. Molde. Oh, Molde.
I said that.
No, you.
That was one of the 8. That was one of the 8 that I rattled off.
Oh yeah, and this is another thing. Did you see Bruno? I think Ole was like clapping to the fans, and then Bruno was like, "Don't boo him. It's us. It's the players." I was talking to a Man United fan at one of our friends giving things last night, and he said that Bruno disappears for 80% of games. Like he's not, and I don't know why I'm talking about this, but it's like Man United have a perfect situation in terms of like squad depth and talent. Like, you just signed Jadon Sancho. You have Donny van de Beek, who's not playing. These players are just wasting away on the bench. And it's just, I don't know. I don't know why I'm talking about this. I just felt the need. Anyways. Just like Ole. All right.
All right. So
we're good.
Zidane, what has he won without Ronaldo? Did he have trophy?
No, he went back to Madrid, I thought.
Did he win anything?
Thought he won the league.
Did he win the league?
I don't know. I only know things about Liverpool. Like, I could guess about other clubs, but
hey, George, Thanksgiving is Thursday, 25th. But someone needs to let me know if Zidane won any trophies without Ronaldo.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. We have a match coming up Wednesday, don't we? Liverpool? Who we playing? I think is it the Carabao Cup? Or is it a Premier League match?
We play Porto the 24th.
Oh my God, I forgot the Champions League is still going on. Ever since we clinched that top spot, I was like, oh, we're not playing that anymore.
Man. We have Southampton, then Everton, Wolves, and then AC Milan to close out that group December 7th.
So we got exciting football coming up. And then we have Everton, Wolves, Milan, Villa, Newcastle, Tottenham, Leicester, Leeds, Leicester, Chelsea. Wow. Our run of games up through the end of December is exciting.
We play Leicester 3 times in a span of, there's the winter.
No, we play them 2 times.
We play them the 22nd, the 28th.
Oh, and then we play them February 9th. Wow.
But there's obviously a big gap in there.
Yeah, that's crazy. Wow. Big games coming up. Big games. Anyways, Rem, what's going on? Last group match, he'll play kids. No need to win. Hey, guys, last season, I just want to remind you, Klopp played Jota against Midtjylland when he didn't need to play him. And then Jota was out for 3 months. Okay? If Klopp doesn't play Tyler Morton, Konate, Nat Phillips, Owen Beck, Cade Gordon, if he doesn't play all those players, I'm going to be pissed. There is zero reason for him not to play them.
No, he's going to play a good team. I'm telling you.
Why?
Because he wants to win.
Like, Porto is fine. I understand if you go strong against Porto. But against Milan at the end of the group, he should play nothing but kids.
He should play nothing but Reds.
He should have us in the locker room. Nothing but Reds.
Yeah.
Just pep talking the boys.
I'm ready.
I was born ready. $2 million per win. Is that how much they get for the Champions League? Like the club per win in the Champions League, do they get $2 million? That's crazy amount. Anyways, all right. So let's look forward to Porto, okay? And we'll talk. Actually, let me bring this up, okay? Transfers. Do you think we're signing anyone in January? I saw a report from the Echo at the end of the week saying that we're most likely not going for anyone in January, despite reports over the international break. And this is why I hate the media, because as soon as the international break starts, everyone and their mother is linked with Liverpool. And then as soon as it's over, you get the report saying we're not signing anyone.
Who's that? Paul Joyce, right?
The Echo? It was just, I don't know who wrote the article in the Echo, but the Echo said we're most likely not going for anyone in January.
Yeah, well, that remains to be seen. A lot can happen between now and January. If we had 3 players get injured in the midfield, 3 additional players, I'm sure we'd figure something out. It's too early to say we're not signing anybody. And it could also just be like a media thing.
Yeah.
Like a tactic. We'll see.
How about Thiago and Fabinho in the midfield yesterday?
Beautiful thing.
That was a sexy midfield. What downturn say here? Hold on. Are there many kids registered for the Champions League? Oh, valid point. Valid point. You have to be registered for the Premier League. Or I mean for the Champions League. So I think Nat Phillips is registered. So we'll probably see Nat Phillips play. That'll be good.
There's enough players to make the lineup weak enough where we're not like really scared, I think.
Yeah, no, I agree. I just don't want to risk it because I just would hate to have a Jota thing. That was the big criticism last season was that Klopp didn't need to play Jota and he played him.
Mm-hmm.
And Liz thinks that Edwards will make a surprising signing for us in January.
That's what I said on the podcast the other day. If you think he's done, you're wrong. I don't think he's done.
You think he's just like...
I mean, he's done with the role at the end of the contract.
Well, right,
I'm saying I don't think he's done making a splash, signings, selling. He's got to have one last bang, right?
One last hurrah.
What's he going to do? Just sit in the office for 8 months? Wait. I mean, seriously, what is he going to do?
Picked up on the desk.
I mean, if you're not going to sign anybody, you can leave today.
Yeah.
Seriously,
he's got a lot of stuff.
If you're not going to sign anybody in January, you might as well leave today. And just let the other person take over. You're just chewing up money in space. That office could go to nothing but Reds.
God, we would do some damage in that office.
Yeah.
Seriously. Who would your first signing be? If they hired us, who would you try to negotiate a deal for? Real quick before we jump into the next topic.
Any player besides like anything that's like kind of realistic?
You just have free reign. You have the job and you're allowed to sign anyone. Like, who would you go for? Like, legitimately, like you're hired, you're getting paid to do it. Who would you go for? Damn it, City just scored.
I was just going to say maybe Kevin De Bruyne.
I love this. Oh my God.
I would say maybe Kevin De Bruyne.
Okay. Kevin De Bruyne.
I know he's a City player. I cannot stand City, but I think he is just unbelievable.
But do you think he would come, though? Like, could you get that deal done?
Oh, you're asking me realistically. Like, he liked Liverpool, I guess, growing up, but he probably not. He probably wouldn't come to Liverpool right now.
I like that, though, because I don't think I've ever heard anyone say they would go for Kevin De Bruyne. But I agree with that. I would take Kevin De Bruyne.
Good. He's
this season, good. I haven't seen his stats this season so far, but I don't think
injury prone. I mean, we're bringing another injury prone guy in, but still.
We're so attracted to these
Hendo,
injury prone
De Bruyne,
guys.
Fabinho, Thiago in that midfield.
Yeah. De Bruyne.
Ooh.
De Bruyne. Remember FIFA 15? That's how they said it. De Bruyne.
Yeah. I think Mbappe would be on my list too, and I hate to be one of those guys that's just like all about like the big names. But like you notice, I didn't say Holland. Like,
Yeah.
I think it would probably be Mbappe or De Bruyne.
So he only has 2 goals, no assists this season in the Premier League. He's played in 8 matches. Let's go to the Champions League. Champions League, he's played in 4 matches, 1 assist, no goals. He's not having a hot year this year, but you're right, he is injury prone. So, damn, yeah, no, this is not his top year. But yeah, De Bruyne, I could get behind. A lot of people saying Mbappe, Bellingham. See what else we got here.
Pulisic,
Jared Bowen.
That's a good one.
Pulisic, yeah. Tony from Brentford. I've seen that one a lot. A lot of people want Tony from Brentford. But Felix from Atletico. We'd have to pay a shit ton of money for that.
No, I'm all set with that. He doesn't even start for them.
No. Wait, well, yeah, he does.
No, he doesn't start every match. He's not one of the first names on the team sheet.
Yeah, fair enough.
I don't even think he started against us last match. I think he came off the bench.
Well, it doesn't matter because Atletico could very well go to the Europa League. If I think, is it Milan or if Porto beat us? That'd be pretty crazy. But yeah. All right, so transfers in January. Sorry, I got to stretch, guys. Let's take a break real quick. Oh, my God, I needed to do that. Okay. Korean player from Wolves. Oh, yeah, Wang Hee-chan. That's a lot of people talking about that. Make sure if you haven't already, guys, subscribe to the channel if you're new.
Why? What is that?
What? Wang Hee-chan?
I've heard these like links, but
so he's on loan at Wolves.
Why are you saying this?
They have an
What is that?
It's an option. He's been linked with us. That's why he's saying that.
No, I know, but what was that an answer to who would you sign if you got the job? The Korean player from Wolves? No. That's your answer?
No, I don't think. No. We've moved past. Actually, it might be.
Nick, just
what about Jeremy Doku? What about Jeremy?
I thought about that, but okay. So Nick Red is saying if he got Michael Edwards' job, he would sign the Korean player from Wolves. That's the first person he'd sign.
You're being a little harsh.
I'm letting you know because I just asked him, and that's what he just clarified.
Yeah,
he would sign the Korean player from Wolves.
He's having a good season so far.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that's what I was seeing. Nick, appreciate you participating here, man. But like, that is unbelievable. That is an unbelievable way to start the morning and an unbelievable answer.
Well, here's a little backup, a little support here.
He will pair with Takumi Minamino like RB Salzburg. Oh, so that's exactly what we're missing, Nick.
Oh, Minamino, what a guy.
I'm just having fun with you, man. But whew.
Yeah. Whew. All right, so we got to go for Dusan Vlahovic in the summer baller. All right, look, the guy has 27 goals in like 40 or 39 Serie A appearances for Fiorentina, I think is who he plays for. I don't like tall strikers. Like, I don't like being linked with Alexander Isak. I don't like being linked with Vlahovic. And Klopp doesn't either. He sold Benteke the first chance he got. Like, if you're not technical on the ball, Klopp doesn't like you. He doesn't want you. That's why he signed Jota. That's why he signed Minamino. These forwards who are short can play across every position. Vlahovic cannot play on the wing. That's why Origi doesn't get any playing time, guys, because Origi is like strictly a striker. He needs versatility in a 4-3-3 system. Vlahovic is not that. If we're talking about versatility, we're probably looking at who I would love to sign, Federico Chiesa. Okay? Chiesa is this. Oh my God, I would love to sign Chiesa. Okay? Wolves guy. Wang Hee-chan, versatile. Okay? Oyvind says, who's Vlahovic? Exactly. You know what I mean? It's like Vlahovic, yeah, he's doing well in Serie A. He's scoring a lot of goals, but it's like, I don't know. He'll probably end up at he's like a Patson Daka. Like, he'll end up at like dude. a
we need a
mid-major
striker.
team.
It's like people in this is for anyone. I try not to do this. I think we're all guilty of it at times. When we need a striker, you don't just go read James Pierce and all these other reporters and see what names they're throwing out, and then that's all of a sudden your opinion. That's who you want.
Well, I don't think
You
that's
get
what
I'm
everyone's
saying?
doing. I know,
Well,
but I don't think
that's what people do. That's what people do, and it's so annoying because I've done it myself as well. But it's like, oh, we need a midfielder. Who do you want? And it's like all of a sudden everybody wants Jude Bellingham. If he wasn't linked with Liverpool, no one would mention his name because people aren't making their own decisions on these topics. They wait until they see something that's popping up in the news, in the links, in the transfer rumors, and then they just latch on to one.
I don't disagree with you, but I don't think anyone in this chat is necessarily doing that. I think people, especially on Twitter, bro, if you get on Twitter, you're right. As soon as we're linked with a player, people will, and a lot of this has to do with just the community itself. Cause FIFA's very involved, like the new FIFAs, you see the new players and stuff, but I think people will go and see a highlight reel and they're like, wow, I really want this player. And that's fine. I mean, that's how I was with, oh God, who were we linked with?
Doku.
It was Doku. That's how I was with Doku at first. When we were first linked with Doku, I was like, I want this guy. But and Steve, you and I watched his highlights together. He can't score. Like, he's good, he's quick, but he can't score. And once we saw that, we were like, okay, I don't really necessarily need him, But
have we been linked with Vlahovic at all?
I think there's been talk of like our interest in him, like inquiring about him.
Because if he hadn't been, then I would say that is a great suggestion. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah. That's what I wish people did more of. Not random names, but somebody
Oyvind, have a good night, my man.
About. What's that?
Oyvind's heading out for a family dinner. Have a good night, bro.
Later. That's the type of stuff I like to see. Like, who do you want? Not who are you reading about on Instagram and Twitter.
Okay, well then let me ask you this: who do you want? I just
told you. I said Kevin De Bruyne.
Okay, so you want Kevin De Bruyne.
If I could buy one player right now, it'd be De Bruyne or Mbappe right now.
Okay.
Because I would like to see goals from midfield. I think we need more coverage in the midfield. And I think he's one player that could break into the team regularly. Maybe not every single match because we have a lot of depth there. But
yeah.
Or Mbappe, because I think he's just a generational talent.
He certainly is, that's for sure.
But we're not linked with De Bruyne. So that's my point.
No, we've never been linked with De Bruyne. You're right. Like you said, he liked Liverpool growing up. That's the only links we've had. So Nike Red says Holland, or Nick Red says Holland.
Nick Red wants everybody. He wants everybody.
I think, Nick, I'm on your side, bro. Like I just love people who contribute to the chat. So
me too, dude. This is not bad. But hopefully this changes someone's mindset. What I'm saying here changes.
So, all right. So let's change this. I like that you were honest with me. You said you want De Bruyne or you want Mbappe. But let's bring it to Nito Nova here. Realistic option, though. Who would you want? Okay. This is different. Okay.
This is different. So I can answer this question.
Okay. Go for it. Take your time and think. There's no rush. Yeah. Because realistically, right
now, Suarez. And I answered this earlier in the season.
Steve has always been a Suarez guy, like wanting him back. Like, we obviously loved him when he was here, but dude, I would not take Suarez back right now.
That's so realistic, though. He's so cheap, and we need a goal scorer.
How old is he, though? Is he 35? He's 35?
He just scored 20 goals in La Liga last year.
What's he have right now?
But that's realistic, though. That is a realistic option.
Okay, fair enough.
We're talking about a matter of maybe 3 million, maybe 5. And he's a goal scorer.
All right, who else, Steve, aside from Suarez? He's 34 years old. He has 5 goals in 10 matches played. Oh, that's World Cup qualifying. Hold on. La Liga this season, he has 7 goals, 1 assist in 13 matches. Those are solid. Those are solid.
Nito Nova says Basuma and Rafinha would be my choices.
Those are realistic, but we've also been linked with them. We've also been linked
exactly
with them.
My point. Why are they realistic?
Okay. So here's the thing. Basuma, I could 100% get behind Basuma. Take out the off-field stuff with the accusations of the sexual assault and everything. Obviously, I don't even know if that's like legit anymore. I would not want a player that's been accused of that, I don't want that in the club. I think it ruins morale and everything. And there's obviously standards that we want at the club, where Liverpool's a very family-oriented club. Anyways, Basuma, quick decision-making. He can play in a pivot spot, but he can also go forward. Versatile midfielder, very technically sound, and his pressing is great. And so is his ball retention. When we played Brighton, we couldn't really get the ball off him.
No, I know. He's definitely a good player. I don't know how he would fare in our system. It's a totally different style of play.
It is.
But he is someone that I could get behind. I would be happy if we signed him, because he is just like a younger, more electric Genie. That's what he looks like.
Yeah.
More powerful, more pace, in my opinion.
Good point, sir.
Quick, good decision making. Okay. Yep. I don't think Rafinha makes sense at all.
Really?
No, I don't. Because where's he going to play?
Well, I think he would. So with Harvey Elliott has transferred to midfield. I thought he was going to be a winger. Rafinha is strictly a winger, so he would be a Salah backup. But
Salah up top here and there and bring Rafinha in. Like, I don't really want to see that.
No,
I don't want to see that.
But we've seen Salah shift over to the center forward role if need be, especially when Shaqiri would come on. If Shaqiri was subbed on, Salah would go to the middle. But I mean, this is us just thinking out loud. So hold on, where are we going? I'm going to look up Rafinha here and look at his stats, because I don't know anything about these players. He's 24 years old. In the Premier League this season, he has 5 goals, no assists in 10 matches played. EFL Cup?
Who?
Nothing. Rafinha. This is Rafinha. Okay. So 5 goals in 10 matches. I mean,
you watched him play.
No assists.
We saw him play.
70% pass accuracy. He does get a lot of touches every game, though.
He's a pro footballer.
Yeah.
But why are we going to buy him? I just want someone to tell me why. Because he's good. Like, everybody's good. Why are we going to buy him?
Now,
for what?
Bro, okay. This is why I love having people in the chat, because they remind me of like players that I want, but that you just, like when someone asks you, what's your favorite movie? And then when you're on the spot, you're like, damn, I don't know. But when you're sitting at home thinking about it, you're like, oh yeah, that's a good movie. There are 2 players that I would love to get, because they could play in the midfield, but they could also play in a center forward spot. And those 2 players are Danny Olmo and Nkunku. I can't remember Nkunku's first name, but those 2 players are great players. Okay? Statistically, I don't even know, but Nkunku is turning up for Leipzig. Okay? You know, he got his formal training at PSG. He went to Leipzig. He kind of like Memphis Depay, right? Like Memphis Depay didn't work out at Man United, goes to Olympique Lyon, absolutely turns up, then he makes a big move to Barcelona. Let me look at...
And they're terrible.
And they're really bad. But at least he's sticking out there. Let me go to Nkunku's stats here, because Christopher, I knew his name was Christopher.
He's doing well.
All right, so 5 goals, 3 assists in 12 matches. Okay, so he can produce. He can produce statistically. 8 goal contributions in 12 matches. Let's go to Danny Olmo, same team. Okay, season. Okay, Danny Olmo has no... Oh, wait, no, he plays in the Bundesliga. Wait, he doesn't... No, they play for the same team. RB Leipzig, right? They both play for RB Leipzig. Danny Olmo actually has no goals and no assists in the Bundesliga. Okay? Champions League, he has 1 assist. So look, that's me wanting a player, liking a player, because we were linked with him recently. But then you go and look at the statistics. He hasn't done anything. You know what I mean? So that's, again, It's all part of it. Make sure you guys subscribe to the
Well,
channel.
unfortunately, who we want never comes. So,
Of course not.
was anyone calling for Diogo Jota? Was anyone
No one
calling for
even knew
Fabinho,
who. Don't act like
Robertson,
you knew
Samikas?
Jota was coming.
Nobody wanted any of them. So I feel like people just jump onto what's current and what's being talked about, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, I want that player." It's like we've been linked with everyone. We've been linked with Ousmane Dembele for a decade. Mbappe, Haaland, Havertz, Werner, Saul. Who else? Sancho.
Is
We've been linked
Saul
with
still
everybody.
injured? What's he doing
No idea.
at Chelsea?
I don't
Is he
know.
still
I don't
injured?
know. I don't know. We've
Oh
been
my
linked with
God.
everyone.
Everybody.
I just wish people would look out, think outside the box a little bit. Just think
Well,
outside the box.
Steve,
Nkunku, that's a good one.
we could have a freaking think tank, and I couldn't have picked out Diogo Jota and Samikas to come to Liverpool.
Or Fabinho.
Or Fabinho. Seriously, Fabinho was part of that Monaco team that was just exceptional. And then most of our signings happened this way, except for Thiago. Diogo Jota was literally overnight. We saw the links. He was signed the next day. Same exact thing with Samikas, and then the same exact thing. Who was the other player you said? Fabinho. No one saw Fabinho coming.
No, certainly no one saw that.
Now, one thing I'll say, this is, I just don't agree with this. Like, I can at least level with everyone. I don't want Zaha. I don't want Zaha anywhere near Liverpool. I'm sorry.
No, he dribbles and goes nowhere.
Yeah.
He dribbles, he goes nowhere. He flops constantly. He's yelling at the referee every single match. If I wanted a player similar to that, I would go with Saint Maximin. Somebody already listed him here earlier because he's like a forward-thinking player. Like he dribbles and makes like insane runs forward. Zaha gets the ball, stops, stands, and dances. That's all he does. Unless he's playing Milner, then he's like the best player in the world. Yeah, he terrorizes James Milner.
Oh, man. Zaha for me has always been like an Arsenal type player. Like, I just feel like if anyone gets him, it's Arsenal. You know what I mean? But there's so many players that you could totally just get.
I think he's just staying there. He's been there so long.
I think he should stay there. I think Palace loves him. They respect him. I think they should just keep him.
Because he would just go somewhere else and not play.
What about Saint Maximin?
I think he's a very, very good player. Another player that would barely play for us.
So this is a question that I didn't think I'd be asking. If Newcastle get relegated, would you get Saint Maximin at a discount? Because I 100% would.
Yeah, I would.
100% would.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to understand he's not going to produce. He's a squad player.
Son from
People
Spurs.
Like to watch
someone
him
said.
Play. What?
Someone said son from Spurs. He's not going anywhere.
He's an
excellent player. But yeah. They won't sell, but Niall, they would have to. I don't know if they would have to sell, but they would be very inclined to sell if they got relegated. But so my mom's asking what happened yesterday, and so just to recap, Arteta was upset with a call on Mane. Mane had a bad tackle. Arteta starts yelling at Klopp for no reason. And then Klopp and him just go at it because why would you yell at? Why does everyone want to yell at Klopp? Lampard did it. Guardiola does it. Why do you want to yell at Klopp? Man. And Dermot here says, every time I turn on the stream at 2, you guys are already on. So, Steve, I missed the start. Did you do a beverage of the week? Steve did
not.
Yeah.
I did not.
That's all good. And another point to bring up before we close out. Perfect timing, Steve. All right. But another thing to bring up before we close out. Basuma, AFCON player. Sarr, AFCON player. Right? So these players, if we sign them, it wouldn't be in January. It would have to be in the summer.
So this is a totally different conversation.
What?
Are we signing people for AFCON?
No. Well, this is what I'm saying. We've been talking about players that we've been linked with, signing them in January over the international break because of AFCON. But then once the players came back, Liverpool Echo said, we're probably not signing anyone in January. Klopp's happy with his options.
Well, do you think they would not sign someone that they really wanted and got a good price on just because they'll be away at AFCON? Because
Absolutely not. No,
I don't think they care at all.
They would definitely sign 100%.
Yeah, they have a job to complete. They're not like day traders. Like this is these are large investments.
Yeah.
It's not
Millions
to
and
patch
millions
the squad for
and millions of dollars.
yeah,
Like
that's people want to see that. I want to see that. I want to see them bring somebody in that is just like cover, but it's probably not going to happen.
yeah. And to wrap up the show, first off, I just want to thank everyone for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And the best thing you can do, guys, aside from commenting, which we all appreciate, if you enjoy the stream, just give it a thumbs up. So I want to close it out with Dermot saying here, Klopp would KO Arteta in round 1. That was my first thought yesterday when 5'4" Arteta was going up against 6'5" Klopp, yelling at him. Klopp would destroy Arteta, fam. Absolutely just KO him.
I don't know.
Why
Man.
would you go up to
Arteta's
Klopp?
young and athletic.
Who?
Arteta.
I don't
pretty
care.
young. He's athletic. I'm just saying. I think it'd be a little closer than you think.
Not a chance, bro. Arteta's a pretty boy.
Would come down.
Arteta's a pretty boy. Klopp does not care. That's what I'm going to leave it with. Guys,
Dermot says, I'm sick of hearing FSG have no money. They have plenty. No, they definitely have plenty of money.
They just purchased, or they're trying to buy the Penguins for $878 million or something. They have money. But you guys got to understand, a lot of that, they're taking out loans to pay for that.
This isn't like we're going to buy another sports team to piss Liverpool supporters off and not buy anyone over there. That's not what this is.
Yeah.
The two things are totally unrelated. As much as they might seem like that could take away from our signings, it does not.
Yeah.
Separate books of business.
It does look bad, though. It looks very bad. But, guys, you got to understand, like Steve said it perfectly. They're two separate books of business, but it looks really bad, bro. When they're taking out a loan or buying a team.
If you don't understand, if you've lived under a rock, it looks bad. But you're not going to see it talked about on Sky Sports by like people like that. It's not going to get dissected like that because anyone that knows anything knows that it's not what it looks like.
Yeah, no, it's not. And that's the thing, but that doesn't sit well with people. If we talk about like how it actually is, how they have separate accounts set up for every team. So they're budgeting. If we talk about that, people don't want to hear that. They just want to look at it and say, oh, FSG aren't spending money. I'm not defending FSG because I've been critical of FSG. I think they should definitely spend more, especially with our injury crisis last season. We got Kanate, but now with the midfield, is it enough? I've always been critical of FSG. I'm still going to support them at the end of the day, but people just got to look at it from a realistic standpoint. You know what I mean? Steve, you got any closing thoughts, my man?
Shout out Steven Gerrard. 2-0.
Oh, my God. First win at Aston Villa.
It's a good side.
I was legit rooting for Aston Villa. I watched that game from start to finish, and I was like, let's go. Let's go. Like, I'm excited that he's at Aston Villa now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, guys, appreciate every single one of you tuning in. Really appreciate it. Your comments, liking the stream, everything. Make sure you subscribe if you're new. And until next Sunday, Reds, take care.